What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I want to talk about some football today. You know what I mean? It's Super Bowl week. We can talk about the Packers too. We don't got to talk about the Super Bowl, but I want to give a shout real quick to the sponsor of my podcast, the sponsor of everything that I do. That is Quick Trip. Right now they got take home meals at a discounted price. They got the hot and ready food too. They got all the stuff. And if you use your Quick Rewards app, you can get all types of goodies. I got a discount on my fuel today. I get free chocolate milk every now and again. So be sure that you're using the Quick Rewards app and check out the take-home meals. You know what I mean? They are fantastic. But this is going to be a live stream for the people. Get to some questions. Not even questions. If you just got something that you want to say, give a take. You know, I did a bold take earlier. Some people said I was stupid, but so let's talk about this. So hammer the chat. Let me throw this up here too, real quick. But hammer the chat, ask questions, say what you want to say. I said for my bold take, I said next year, first of all, I do believe the Packers are going to be in the Super Bowl next season. I do believe the Packers next season are going to be in the Super Bowl. And I think Preston Smith is going to get a sack to help secure that win. You know what I mean? At the end of the game, that's my bold prediction for next season. You can have one for this offseason. This can be a long offseason. The defense is getting revamped. Everything is hammered away. But let's get to some comments over here. We got 49ers are going to finally get over the hump. Do you think so? I don't know. I think that this Super Bowl is going to be tough. I think for both sides. The Chiefs, you know what I mean? They seem like they're playing confidently. Like earlier in the season, I wasn't so sure. I didn't think that the Chiefs would get this far, but they did. I actually thought the Ravens were going to get there. But the 49ers, number one seed, they've been picked all season. They've been down, especially in these playoffs, and they've won. But I got to agree with Mr. Pack Daddy over here. I am not rooting for the 49ers. You know what I mean? I am not in any way rooting for the 49ers. But like, dude, I see a lot of people saying that like Packer fans should be rooting for the NFC. Like people like have this thing, like even like when the Lions ran, they're like, we should be rooting for the Lions because they're in our division. Now it's like we should root for NFC. Like, no, absolutely not. I will never root for the NFC in the Super Bowl if the Packers ain't in it. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want any NFC team. If my team can't win, I don't want anyone. I don't care if the Chiefs get 67 Super Bowls. All right. I don't care. I know that people like don't like teams that win. They don't like the Patriots. Now it's the Chiefs. But I can't root for NFC team. You know what I mean? Some Niner fans are cool. That one probably is. But like I just can't do it. I can't root for 49ers. I'm not sure I'll be rooting for the Chiefs either. It's kind of like I think that Lions playoff game. Where I'm kind of like just I'll watch, but then you like even when you just watch, you say I'm not rooting for a team, you kind of like your instincts kind of kick in, you kind of pick a side. But I'll be rooting for the Chiefs. That's who I want to win. I'm never gonna root for the. All right, we got ourselves a Bear fan over here. Matt, put the crack pipe down before you make another prediction like that. All right, we got this is our token Bear fan over here. Never misses one. I don't think that's the real name, Penny. I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? But yeah, Bears fans, dude, it's funny because like they'll talk, but they're still trying to figure out the Bears are going to screw it up. That's the most beautiful thing about Bears is doesn't matter if they draft Caleb Williams, if they keep Justin Fields and try to build around him, no matter what they do, they're going to screw it up. You know what I mean? Here we go. Packers will have a top 5 defense and win the North, dude. I like that. This defense really excites me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like people are asking me, like, what's it gonna look like? It's gonna be like a 4-3. They're saying. I'm an idiot. I'll have someone on my podcast at some point. Maybe Mr. Ryan Pack Daddy over on Twitter. Someone smarter than me that we can break this thing down. I do think it's gonna be interesting, like how they do it, like with the players they got, how they're gonna do it, like with the draft. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. And I do think the Packers defense is going to be great. And it's going to take a little bit of time for like the players to get equipped, like a lot of people are saying. But also the offenses on the other side aren't really going to know what the Packers defense is doing right out the gate. So I feel like that's going to be beneficial. I don't care either way. I'm just saying I think the 49ers are ready for this. All right, there you go. I wasn't sure if you're a 49 fan. And it's fine if you are. You know what I mean? I appreciate people watching. But yeah, I can't root for the 49ers. I think the 49ers will play tough. 49ers have been, they've been knocked down, dude, like against the Packers and the Lions. They were down and they figured it out. I mean, a lot of that was mistakes by other teams, but like they won. They're in the Super Bowl. So you got to give them some credit for that. You know what I mean? Here we go. We got another bold take. Jordan Love wins MVP. Packers battle the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, I'd prefer that. I'd prefer not to play the 49ers as champs again. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I want this like that new age Packers one to knock them off, but we don't need to do that. You know what I mean? But Jordan Love could very easily win MVP. The way he played this year, and he didn't really get a lot of love. And obviously, because there were some like middle of the season, there were some humps there because it's his first year starting. But next year he comes out swinging, kind of does that whole thing right out the get. I think that there's a really good chance that he could win MVP, at least be in that consideration. I think Jordan Love is going to have a great year next year. I predict the Bears will leave Chicago before they beat the Packers again. That might be true. I think they're looking at different spots. They got evicted, I heard. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but yeah, the Bears are moving. They're going somewhere. I think they're obviously around Chicago, but might not be directly in Chicago. Gary, defensive player of the year. Yeah, I think like with this new defense, like who's it gonna benefit? Who's gonna shine? Who's it gonna fit the best? And Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary's an absolute animal. He's like, his motor is insane. I saw people talking today because I said that thing about Preston Smith going to be my bold prediction be like he's gonna be gone. He's not gonna be gone. He ain't going nowhere. He doesn't miss a game. I think to trade him or cut him, they saved $2.5 million. And actually, that's not me. That's Ken Ingles. I actually DM'd him. I was talking to him about it. He had a great article. If you go to Ken Ingles' Twitter, go to his profile. He has a link there, and he has like he kind of breaks down like the whole team. He did a really good job. He's way smarter. Dude, he'll forget more about football tonight than I'll ever know in my life. You know what I mean? Quay Walker has double-digit sacks next year. I like that. I like that a lot. Here we go. Mahomes isn't losing to the dang 49ers. Yeah, I don't think so. First of all, like with that game, you know what I mean? It's the Chiefs ain't gonna give up. The Chiefs ain't gonna give up some stuff. Like the Chiefs ain't gonna make those mistakes. The Chiefs have been there before. The Chiefs ain't gonna just like screw it up, because that's kind of what the Lions did, what the Packers did. There was mistakes. I don't see the Chiefs doing any of that. I just don't see it. Expect a lot of 4-2-5 defense with a single high safety there. Someone way smarter than me chiming in. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know a lot about the defensive coordinator. I know a little bit. I was reading up on, but I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a lot different, way different what we're doing now. Good evening, Matt. What is up, Jason? How you doing tonight? Down the stretch, the Packers played against some good teams and won. Yeah, that's the thing. Down the stretch, that towards the end of the season, the Packers were absolutely balling, and they were beating good teams. Middle of the season, they had some hiccups, but I kind of, everyone said beginning of the season that it's going to be some ups and downs, and there were some downs. And when the downs came, people came to riot. You know what I mean? Goot for GM of the year. I like that. I think he's one of the most disrespected great GMs in the NFL, even by Packer fans. And people just don't get it. Go Chiefs. There we go. Here we go. 49ers are overrated. I actually think they are a little bit. I don't really like the 49ers at all. I think Oren Burks just played for the Packers. He's over there. I actually like Kittle. I think he's kind of funny. But overall, I can't get down with the 49ers. I can't be over there rooting for them. You know what I mean? How good is our defense this year? You mean this next year? This year they had some stumbles for sure. But at the end of the season, they kind of cleaned some stuff up a little bit too late. You know what I mean? But I think next year that they're going to be great. I'm not going to give a prediction like they're going to be top 5. I will at some point. I guarantee that. But like right now, I got to figure out what this defense is going to be before I start rambling off with the mouth. You know what I mean? Lions came back to earth next season. Yeah, I kind of think that the Lions do. I think that the Lions probably make the playoffs, but they're not going to win the division. You know what I mean? They're not winning the division. The Packers are winning the division. Here we go. I want to meet you one day. You're pretty cool. I appreciate that, Matt. I appreciate it. You have a good name. You know what I mean? Defense, not defense. There we go. It depends where you live. You know what I mean? I think that's a whole like what country you live in. They spell things differently. You know what I mean? But here we go. It took 59 minutes for the 49ers to beat the Packers. Yeah, that's a sad thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about it. That's a really sad thing because I feel like the Packers should have won that game. The Packers were the better team. They played better, but all except for the amount that really mattered. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about it. Which free agent will sign with Green Bay? That's interesting because like Goot, I think it was Goot we was talking on a press conference somewhere. I saw a clip. He said that they'll look at free agency, but the Packers aren't really known for free agency except for like they're very selective when they do it. I don't expect them to like be crazy in free agency. Like they have this young team. I think that's their plan is like to build up this young team. I don't expect them to go all crazy, but who knows? Like maybe they go after a safety. They go after like a position that they need that they want to like just really pick it up and they don't want to draft for it. Love MVP next year. Let's speak it to existence. You know what I mean? Let's speak it to existence. I'm just watching for Super Bowl commercials. There you go. Yeah, Super Bowl commercials are that's a lot of people tune in for. I read Derrick Henry. If we lose Dylan, I'll take that. I don't know. I feel like if they didn't bring Dylan back, they'd probably draft a running back. It's kind of what they did, like when they had Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. They kind of figured that they're going to lose one of those guys. I think they were kind of I don't know what they were thinking, but a lot of people were thinking Aaron Jones because, big payday, but he kind of helped them out a little bit. Ended up being Jamal Williams. So I can see him doing that same route, drafting a rookie and letting Aaron Jones do his thing. But I like AJ Dillon. I like him a lot. So hopefully he's back and they can get that stuff figured out. But I'm a big AJ Dillon guy. You know what I mean? The Packers are winning the division and going to have a first round bye and home field advantage next year. Go Pack, go. Dude, I absolutely agree. Dude, I believe that. Like, people think that like I'm a homer and I don't believe what I say. Like, I fully believe the Packers are going to have a really good season next year. I feel like this Packers team is kind of was like the Lions. And I don't like compare the Packers to the Lions, but the Lions were coming up. They didn't make the playoffs. But they were, coming up. Everyone believed in it. And then this year, they kind of did what they did, and nobody was really surprised. I feel like the Packers are that team, but the Packers made the playoffs. You know what I mean? What does the contract for Jordan Love look like? That's a really good question. I'm not probably the right dude to ask that. I'll have some people on my podcast who are smarter than me talk about that, but he's going to get paid. Like, people think that Jordan Love should give like a discount or whatever. Like, dude, that's his first big payday. He's going to get paid, and he should get paid. You don't want to lowball your like up and coming quarterback, the guy that you drafted and prepared, and he sat in Aaron Rodgers. You don't want to like lowball him. Like, maybe they want to they'll figure out like kind of a friendly thing, but I don't think that he's going to take like some big discount. Like, he deserves his money. He's going to get a lot of it. He's going to get a lot of money. I think he's going to be all right for a long time. But I plan on having some good guests on this offseason, smart people. And actually, I could say Kenny Clark is going to be on my podcast at some point. I got some other players lined up. I don't like saying names because in case it doesn't happen, I don't want to look like like they flaked out or whatever. But Kenny Clark, I'm really confident. He's been on my podcast like 3 times. Kenny Clark did my podcast when I was recording like on a phone before I ever had anything. So like, and he came back and it was horrible. I was like, "What's your favorite color?" But so I Kenny Clark will be here, and also I'll have smart people, especially coming up to the draft. People who actually know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Lion fans had one good season and they're flooding my Packer posts. Like, for real, dude. Lion fans are out of control, dude. But yeah. I mean, I don't get a lot of Lion fans actually. I'm not sure like if they don't want to smoke. But I get a few here and there. I just kind of laugh at them. Like, bro, you had 1 year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's calm down. Why did nobody want to interview Rich? And how do you feel about him staying? Yeah, I thought that was interesting that he didn't get interviewed. Or, that I know of, or like I'm not sure the situation. I actually still like him. Special teams kind of wasn't what a lot of people expected because everyone was talking, kind of hyping it up, what it was going to be. But I like him. Let's see what happens this coming up season. Sign a veteran to back up Jordan Love. Yeah, it depends what they think about what's his face, and I mean, I could see it. I wouldn't mind if they had a veteran backup, but like not like veteran, like someone, I don't know. I kind of like the young guy. Like, it depends what they think, because I have no idea about a backup quarterback because we don't see like in practice. We don't really know like what's going on. It all depends what they how they view him. But I'd be surprised if they like brought someone in like a veteran, especially someone with like any type of caliber. I think that they'd rather just go young and build them up, kind of like what they've done in the past. I don't believe Dylan or Jones stay healthy enough, and Dylan is north and south runner on plays, does terrible. We need another solid run back. Yeah, I would probably guess that they draft a running back either way. But like, we'll see. Where the hell is your beer? I am not drinking tonight. You know what I mean? I am not drinking. People always say, like, not as good when I'm not drinking. It's like Popeye and this spinach. You know what I mean? Spinach is disgusting, by the way. Do you think we can land a great pick or draft? Or are you not expecting much? Yeah, no, I expect him to draft well. I think Goot has been doing a really good job. Like, if you look at this offense, all these young receivers, all these young tight ends, like I think he's been absolutely killing it. I don't know who they're going to draft. Like I say, I'll have some folks come on there smarter than me talk about who they think they can pick. A lot of people got the mock drafts. You know what I mean? I'm not smart enough to do all that. Excited the way this new defensive coaching staff is coming together. Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Like I saw some names. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't know all the names, so I'm not gonna act like I know it all. But I like that. What people are talking about, and people like it. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not gonna act like, oh, this guy linebacker coach, beautiful. But I like the scheme. I like the 4-3, like all the things that they're talking about. I like that everyone talks about press a little bit. I don't think it's not gonna be press all the time. Like I had who did I have on? I forgot who I had on. Someone smart. But he was talking about that. It's not gonna be like press all the time, but he likes press. I like aggressiveness. I like a defense that's gonna punch in the mouth. You know, have that like mantra of like just being tough. You know what I mean? And from what I hear, he brings that. Clark is awesome. Dude, Kenny Clark is really awesome. Like he's one of the coolest guys that I've had on my podcast. He's so nice. Like for like just being like a beast on the field, he's such a nice dude. And I want to talk to him. You know, he's at the Pro Bowl. I think it'd be cool to ask him about the Pro Bowl. And I want to bring on some defensive players because I want to ask them like, what do they think about this scheme? What do they know about this about the new defense coordinator? What do they like? You know what I mean? I think it'll be interesting to get their view. And I could talk to them before they come back, before the Green Bay media does. Woo! That'll be fun. You know what I mean? He's my Facebook friend. You're talking about Kenny Clark? Is he on Facebook? But I don't know. He's awesome though. Do you think the Chiefs can stop the whiners? This is the same team as 4 years ago, right? I think the Chiefs can. I think the Chiefs can put up points. But the Niners, you know, like I say, they're in the Super Bowl for a reason. I think a little bit of luck, you know what I mean? But like you don't get all the way to the Super Bowl on luck. But the Lions kind of crumbled a little bit there. They kind of made some bad decisions, but they don't regret it. You know what I mean? So as long as they don't regret it. But yeah, I definitely think the Chiefs can win that. The defense is going to improve and embrace the new coaching. Yeah, I absolutely think that this defense, these players can be dialed in. I think that they're going to be excited. And I think that like coming out the gate, I expect this defense to be good. I think, you know, with a new defensive coordinator, like new coaches, I feel like it's exciting. Like even if a defensive coordinator doesn't work out, kind of like that first season kind of does, it seems like, because everyone's kind of excited. You know what I mean? What's your take on at kicker? Young kicker, but like I was seeing like people were saying that he had a better kick percentage than Crosby, but just like at the end he kind of like flaked out a little bit. He's a young kicker. Like to me, it all depends like what the coaches think. Like, you know, I get it, like a young kicker missed some huge kicks, not good. Like I'm not like in love with the guy where like I'm like, oh, they can't absolutely move on from him. Like if they choose to, it's the right move. But if they keep him, I get it because it's a young kicker. If they really believe in him, if they're seeing in practice like he's doing it, but then just during the games, it kind of got in his head at the end of the season. They don't want to give him another chance. But I would assume that if he comes out next year and starts like missing like crazy, they might switch up. And I would assume there's gonna be a lot of competition in training camp. It's not like his job and they're like, no, don't worry, you're safe, don't worry about it, you're having a good time. Like I assume that they're gonna bring in competition, and you know, I think competition, you know, will really flourish. And there you go, Clifford is a wildcat. There you go. I could not remember his name to save my life, but Clifford is like, you know, hopefully he never has to be on the field. But like you say, with backup quarterbacks, like you see a little bit in preseason, even with Jordan Love when he was backing up Rodgers, he like you don't really see enough in preseason. You see a little bit, but it's not really like the game, you know what I mean? It's preseason. It's not really like their plays are like that they're actually playing. It's kind of basic stuff that they're doing. So it all depends on what they think. But it seems to me like they like Clifford. I don't know, you know, I would assume that they draft someone probably late, maybe, but I would expect Clifford to be the backup. But what do I know? You know what I mean? What do you think of the Packers signing Sean Mannion, teaching Jordan Love how to play quarterback well? I don't know a lot about him, but it seems like a lot of people are excited about him. I was reading a little bit about him. He's not going to be like the quarterback's coach. You know, we got same quarterback's coach. He's just going to be there. It seems to me like he was brought in to kind of learn how to coach. Like he wants to be a coach. Everyone said that he's smart and like knows the position. Like you don't have to be like the greatest quarterback in the world to be a coach. Like I'm not sure if Bill Belichick ever played at any significant level. You know what I mean? A lot of great coaches don't play or weren't good anyways. So I don't think it's a bad thing if they think he has promise. Let him learn how to coach a little bit. I don't think he's going to be, you know, some crazy significant role. I think he's going to help out and kind of learn on the way. That's kind of how it feels to me. Middle linebacker. I'm not sure what you're asking there. But yeah, like I speaking of like someone mentioned earlier, like Quay Walker, like wondering like what he'll be like. I'm not the best person to talk about like defensive schemes, especially the 4-3. I haven't really thought about it in a long time, but I think it'll be interesting like what they do with the linebackers. You know, even the outside linebackers, middle linebackers, like what are they going to have going on there? I think it'll be interesting. I'll have someone smart, like I say, come on and talk about that. Have you taken a chance to look more into the new defensive coordinator schemes? I did a little bit, but I'm like I said, I'm gonna have some people come on probably after the Super Bowl. I'll try to get a bunch of guests to come on and really like break it down. I had someone on earlier. I forget it. I forget who I had on now. It's gonna drive me nuts. But big shout out to him. Way smarter than me. I have some smart friends. You know what I mean? Or people that I know anyways on Twitter. Chris Jenkins, Blake Corum. The draft is actually pretty good. Yeah, I like what they're doing over here in the draft. Green Bay is going to put the hammer down. You know what I mean? I'm really stoked about this. Vikings quarterback McKinnon coming to Green Bay is goofy as a coach to me. Your take? I think that it's more like I said, like more of like a learning thing. So I don't expect him to have a like he's not going to be like the quarterback's coach. I think he's the assistant to the quarterback's coach if I read right. So I think it's more of seeing what he's got and like give him a chance to get into the coaching world. I like the new defensive coordinator hire. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Chiefs win. Kelce Super Bowl MVP. That's my pick. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Kelce wins MVP. And actually, I got him in. I'm in this like little fantasy pool at work for like all the playoffs, and like I think I'm like in the lead going into the Super Bowl. So if Kelce goes off, but I think probably everyone has Kelce. It's one of those fantasy things where you can pick anyone can pick whoever they want, and like whoever has most points at the end wins. Like if your team gets knocked off early, then it sucks to suck. So you got to try to pick those teams that are going to get there. So we'll see. Hopefully I win that thing. Can I call the score for the Super Bowl? Chiefs 27, Niners 20. All right. I do think that it'll be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Keep the kicker. Yeah. I would expect that they keep the kicker. I mean, unless like they have someone brought in for competition and it blows them out of the water, but I would expect he's going to be there. My dream scenario for the first 5 picks of the draft: Graham Barton, Tyler Nubin, Edgerrin Cooper, Junior Colson, and Eric. Is that Esteem? Yeah, I don't know anything about college, so I hope that those are all good players. You know what I mean? I'm like the worst. I don't even know why I do this. Here we go. In preseason, Clifford was perfect in the red zone. There you go. We need to use a little bit of draft capital to move up and ensure getting Cooper DeJean from Iowa, fills a safety role, and can play corner. All right. That's probably good. You know what I mean? I don't know college enough to say if you're right or wrong, but I definitely believe you. I'll take your word for it over mine for sure. Jaden Reed will break a record for Packers receiving yards, and Jordan Love will be MVP. Jaden Reed, I think, is going to be an absolute beast. He had himself a good first year. Jaden Reed is one of the players. I got his jersey. My wife got me the jersey for Christmas. I think that's probably good luck. You know what I mean? But he's balling. I think that this whole receiving group, this whole offense around Jordan Love, it's just beautiful. The tight ends, Aaron Jones. A lot of people talk about Aaron Jones is getting older, but I'm excited about this offense. These young wide receivers. I saw someone on my Facebook today say Packers don't have any wide receivers. Like, are you crazy? These young wide receivers are going to be ridiculous. They're all growing together. It's going to be great. A press blitz. Let's get it, dude. That's all I do in Madden. Sometimes I get burned. I ain't gonna lie to you, but hopefully they do it a little bit better than I do. Who's calling offensive plays? Is Matt LaFleur calling it, or does he have the offensive coordinator calling it? He's calling the offensive plays right now, but I did hear he said that if he thought it was the best case, that he would give that up. But I don't think that's happening because he probably doesn't think that's the best case. So I'd expect Matt LaFleur to keep calling the plays. I hate to say this: Chiefs 24, 49ers 31. All right. I hope not. You know what I mean? I don't think so, but what do I know? I've picked against the Niners like all the way to the playoffs. So what do I gotta do? I feel Green Bay is going to do well next season for sure, Scott. They're gonna dominate. Hey Matt, sorry I'm a little late. I don't really care who wins the Super Bowl, but if I had to pick, Chiefs. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. What's up, Steve? Thanks for tuning in. I say we sign Mason Crosby back. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that they were a little worried about the long ball, and he missed at the end of the season. I think to lose the game. Everyone loves Mason Crosby, but I'm not even sure if he's gonna try to be on a team next year. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'll love Mason Crosby, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Which head coach, Mike, was your favorite? Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I would say Mike Holmgren. He brought the whole thing back. I was gonna say Mike Sherman. You know what I mean? No, but Mike Holmgren, like he brought everything back. It was fun, like watching those mic'd up things with him and Favre. Mike Holmgren like brought the Lombardi home, kind of not just him, Ron Wolf, a lot of people involved, but brought that whole, brought the Packers back from the gutter. But Mike, and then you got Mike Sherman, Mike McCarthy. I like too because Mike McCarthy, he got a ring too, and I just like that he always respected history. He talked about a lot. You seen him when he left, how it affected him. Like he really loved this team. He loved this franchise. So I got much love for Mike McCarthy, and I always will. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be Holmgren, and Holmgren Way, that's where all the good bars are in Green Bay. You know what I mean? Jaden Reed is the next Tyreek Hill. I like it. I think Jaden Reed, people are gonna underrate him a little bit. I mean, not Packer fans because we kind of know, but the rest of the league. I think come next season, you're gonna see a lot of these Packer players starting to get their respect. Sean Minion, great guy, good addition to the coaching staff. Worked here with him in Minnesota in 2019. Very smart. Smart anyways. I added the very Phil. What's up, Phil? But yeah, that's kind of what I like. What I was reading on Twitter is a lot of people were saying that a lot of people expected him to be a coach. Like he knows what he's doing. And I think the Packers are kind of just giving him that start. See what happens from it. I enjoyed your pick, each team thing this year on Sportsline. Hope you do it again next year. Yeah, I'll definitely do the Pick'em League next year. I don't know if I'll do an exact Pick'em show, but I'll definitely do the Pick'em thing. Or if I do a Pick'em show, it's going to be probably shorter, so I'm not going through all the teams because it's not as fun for me to pick all the games live. But it was definitely fun to do. I lost horribly in that thing, but it was good. Preston Smith will not be quarterback one anymore. End of an era. You know what I mean? But he held his own, went up against Davante. He didn't get a touchdown. That's what I'm going to say. Davante Adams one-on-one against Preston Smith did not get a touchdown. Put some respect on his name. You know what I mean? My top 3 draft picks in order. There we go. People can see it. I can't read those names. But I hope they're good and I hope you're right. Like I say, I'm not a big college guy, so I'm not going to pretend like I know it all with college. I'll bring on smart people, like I say. That'll break that down. You know what's going to happen? We'll get rid of Carlson. He'll go to another team and become kicker of the year. It always happens when we get rid of someone. That's the thing. Like you get rid of someone because they're struggling, and then they go somewhere and it ends up being the best kicker of all time or something. You know what I mean? But we got ourselves. Look at this, bud. Let's do it. What is up, Wyatt? How you doing? $4.99. Ramage to GOAT. What games do you plan on seeing next season? There you go. I appreciate they call that a super chat. I don't get it very often, but I appreciate it. But I was thinking about that because I don't think I'm going to go to like a whole bunch of games. I think I went to 4 this year. I think I was undefeated when the Packers were undefeated when I went. But I think I want to get to a Bears game. There's probably a Vikings game and probably another game. I'll probably try to get to 3, but I'm going to do a lot more live streams next year where during the game I do my live stream for people who don't know. And I want to do a lot more of those, but I definitely want to get to a bunch of games. The tailgate and just the game experience is ridiculous. But I definitely want to get to a Bears game, and I would love to watch the Packers pummel the Vikings in person. You know what I mean? But those are probably the 2 division games, and I'll try to I'll pick another one. Maybe that Dolphins game. I think that'd be all right. But we'll see. But I appreciate that super chat right there. Chiefs win. What's on the menu for the for what? For the GS? I'm not sure what you mean there. All right, here you go. You think Davante Adams will come back and tutor young receivers? I hope he comes back. I don't think he's going to. I see a lot of people talking about, the Jets are going to try to trade for him. They're going to try to reunite him with Rodgers. I don't know what's going to happen there if their Raiders are even open to trading him. I haven't really heard much about it, but I don't expect him to come back to the Packers because I think the Packers like their young wide receivers. Not that they wouldn't like to have Davante back, but I just don't see it. Maybe a James Jones situation years down the line, but I really don't see that either because I think that they like who they got, and I don't think he's coming back. Our receivers are studs, scared to lose some when they're available for, and we can't afford them or etc. We'll enjoy the ride. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think Christian Watson, a guy who missed a lot of time. I get a lot of hate for like people make fun of me because like I apparently I'm like a Christian Watson defender now because I was like wasn't killing him when he got hurt. But I think that these wide receivers are great. I think Christian Watson's going to be great. He's fast. Like a lot of these guys just have speed. I'm not worried about the wide receiver position in Green Bay whatsoever. What you should have a Matt Ramage fantasy league next year. Oh, that'd be interesting. I do the pick'em show, but maybe I can do like something with fantasy. I know that Tom Grassi does that with his following. I could try to figure something out for that. I think that'd be fun, dude. I came in second place in fantasy football this year, the league I was in, and I haven't played in years. And I would have won except for I didn't have a guy. I had a guy starting that was hurt. Like I didn't realize, I was doing stuff. I got distracted. Only time the whole season. And that's why I lost. And that'll bother me till the day that I die. You know what I mean? What food are you eating for the Super Bowl? Probably some Quick Trip macaroni and cheese. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure like what I'm doing. I thought about streaming on the Super Bowl, but I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna be watching me anyways because they got people go places to watch Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe I'll do the same. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I usually eat like anything, dude. Like look at me. But yeah, I like macaroni and cheese. I don't eat a lot like the traditional stuff that a lot of people eat at Super Bowls. I eat pretty much anything though. If we had a Marvel superhero defensive line for the Packers, I'd sign the Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man at quarterback. Dude, yeah. You ain't getting no ball past Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man. We should start calling Jair that. You know what I mean? We go, what's your favorite cheese flavors since you make cheese, and have you been to Bears, Vikings, or Lions Stadium for games? I've never been to an away game. I've never been to any away game for the Packers. I feel like if I went to like Chicago for a Bears game, I'd probably get beat down. I talk a lot of trash. You know what I mean? I feel like I would take one per. You ever see those clips? People like getting knocked down the stadium stairs and just getting pummeled. I don't need that in my life. You know what I mean? I'm sure Chicago's a fine place. But my favorite cheese flavors, I'm kind of a generic cheese fellow. Dude, I think cheddar cheese sauce, like I feel like that is a cheese that you could put on anything. Like, you go to Arby's. I know people don't like Arby's, but they get a roast beef sandwich with that cheddar cheese sauce. Like, I feel like you could put on anything. You could put on nachos. Like, you could put cheddar cheese sauce. You can make macaroni cheese with it. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cheese. It goes on anything. Even if you don't think it should, you're like, this isn't that good. Throw some cheddar cheese sauce in that thing. See how that tastes. You know what I mean? Here we go. Your expert guess on how many Taylor Swift sightings there will be on TV. A lot. I would say 14. If I'm just guessing. I don't even know how many are most games. I never looked into it, but there's going to be a lot. I was in 3 fantasy football leagues, and I won 2 of them. See, those are good numbers right there. Those are good numbers. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. I think I'm going to wrap this thing up, but I'm going to be doing a lot more of these live streams when I have some guests. I'm going to be doing a lot. Like, I think try to do like longer live streams where I have a couple guests. Like have someone jump on for 15, have another person jump on for like 15, kind of break stuff up, talk about different things. People have expertise in different places, getting closer to the draft. I'll have some smart people come on talking about the draft, but just let it be known. All right. I want to make it very clear that next season, the Green Bay Packers are winning the Super Bowl. All right. I do. People say you shouldn't have high expectations. I have crazy high expectations, and so do they. Matt LaFleur said it like at the end of the year press conference, like this young thing, not an excuse. This team is ready to win. Jordan Love is a baller. These young receivers are ballers. We got a running game. This defense is going to be top notch next season. Let it be known. Put the whole NFC on notice. And the Lions fans, your time at the top of the division is over, baby. The Green Bay Packers are coming back for what is theirs, taking claim of the NFC North and winning the whole thing. You know what I mean? We're going to win the whole dang thing. I appreciate you, Scott. I appreciate everyone who is tuned in. Go Pack Go. We are out of this thing. Much love to you. A lot of fun stuff coming up, people. Go Pack Go.